Good morning. Loudoners went to the polls yesterday, and it turns out they were feeling mighty blue. For Wednesday, November 5th, it's your Loudoun Now Morning Minute. Head to Dodona Manor this Veterans Day for the 21st Annual Veterans Day celebration with the George C. Marshall International Center, the town of Leesburg, and Loudoun County. The fun starts at 10 a.m. with free tours of Dodona Manor, free coffee from Simply Bee, and free cookies from Mom's Apple Pie. At 11 a.m., a keynote address by ID Me founder and CEO Blake Hall. And at noon, free barbecue from Mission Barbecue and live music by Melissa Quinn Fox. Rain or shine, free parking and shuttle service by Cartwheels. Check out georgecmarshall.org/events. Thanks for being with us. I'm Renz Green. Democrats pulled off a nearly clean sweep in yesterday's elections, from the local school board to the governor's mansion. You've probably heard the results already. Abigail Spanberger will be the first woman to serve as Virginia's governor. Ghazala Hashmi will be the next lieutenant governor, and Jay Jones will be the next attorney general. They also won in Loudoun. Across the state, Democrats picked up 13 seats in the House of Delegates, and one of those was Loudoun's last Republican in the state legislature. Democrat John McAuliffe beat incumbent Republican delegate Gary Higgins by just over 1,000 votes. In his victory speech last night, McAuliffe said voters want to set a new tone.
Our victory tonight means that our community is ready for change. It means that our rights and our economic futures will be protected from a Washington that is focused on nothing but partisan bickering and not at all on the needs of our small and our rural communities. Our victory tonight is a reminder that politics is not about the candidates themselves. It is about the people who live here.
Every other state delegate in Loudoun was already a Democrat, and they all held on to their seats by healthy margins. All of Loudoun's state senators were already Democrats. 5 seats on the school board were up, and although school board elections are nominally nonpartisan, 4 of those 5 were won by the candidates endorsed by the Loudoun Democratic Party. In the Leesburg district, incumbent Lauren Chernoff ran unopposed and was reelected. In Dulles, John Pepper defeated Santos Munoz to replace Chair Melinda Mansfield, who did not run for reelection. In Broad Run, Ross Svensson defeated Samuel Yan to replace Linda Deans, who also did not seek reelection. And in Algonquin, April Chandler was reelected over challenger Matt Malone. The exception was in the Sterling district. Independent Amy Riccardi defeated incumbent and Democrat pick Arbin Istrefi. Meanwhile, the elections in Middleburg and Round Hill were all uncontested. Bridge Littleton will have a 5th 2-year term as mayor of Middleburg, joined on the town council by Cindy Cron Pearson, C. Darlene Clerk, Deborah Scott Gallagher, and Chris K. Hirsch. Those last 2 replace Peter Leonard Morgan and Bud Jacobs, who did not seek re-election. Kirk is the longest-serving member of the town council. She was appointed in 2001 to fill the seat that her mother, Betty, held for 20 years. She will now begin her 6th 4-year term. In Round Hill, all the candidates were incumbents. Welcome back, Mayor Scott Ramsey and council members Paula James, Sean Lloyd, and Beth Caseman. Loudoun County recorded a 54% turnout with 165,109 ballots cast. Go to loudounnow.com/Morning Minute to check out the whole story. In other news, let's talk for a few minutes about hunger. As the crisis with the federal government withholding SNAP funding continues, this week, Leesburg town and state elected officials visited Loudoun Hunger Relief, the county's largest food pantry, to highlight the increasing needs in the community. Loudoun Hunger Relief Executive Director Jennifer Montgomery said they've extended their hours in light of the uncertainty around SNAP benefits and with federal employees missing their first paycheck as a result of the government shutdown. The state government is working to fill the gap in SNAP funding through the Virginia Emergency Nutrition Assistance Program, but Montgomery said LHR is doing its best to have enough resources on hand for whatever might come their way. Currently, they serve between 700 and 800 households a week inside the pantry, with curbside service, with in-person deliveries, and at satellite pantries. They also help other hunger nonprofits get food to distribute. Important to note, while the nonprofit food pantries and food banks do a lot, SNAP provides 9 times the number of meals that the charitable food system provides, according to Montgomery. Meanwhile, the HCA Healthcare Foundation has awarded a $25,000 grant to Dulles South Food Pantry to provide food and supplies for people in need. Dulles South Food Pantry has seen a 15% year-over-year jump in the number of people seeking food assistance, which they say is driven primarily by the fact that they serve the fastest-growing area of Loudoun County. They serve 260 families, more than 1,000 people, each week, making them the second largest food pantry in Loudoun. In 2024, they distributed more than 716,000 pounds of food, which is almost 597,000 meals. The Community Catalyst Grant is part of the HCA Healthcare Foundation's $75 million Healthier Tomorrow Fund, which was announced this year. They say it's designed to support local innovative initiatives focused on addressing high-priority community needs and health access. Dulles South Food Pantry Executive Director Mickey McMahon said the grant comes just as they are seeing a historic rise in the demand for their Backpack Buddies program for students, along with the urgent food insecurity needs of the broader community. If you or someone you know needs help putting food on the table, you can find pantries near you at loudounfeeds.org. And a true giant of Northern Virginia government and philanthropy across the state passed away on Monday. J. Hamilton Lambert, who helped create the Claude Moore Charitable Foundation and led it for decades, was 84. After retiring in 1990 from the job of county executive in Fairfax, he helped Loudoun physician Claude Moore plan the use of his estate. Under Lambert's stewardship, the foundation, in Dr. Moore's name, awarded more than $110 million to nonprofits in Loudoun and across Virginia. And that really only scratches the surface of his impact. We've got the story on our website, so get the full story on this and all these stories over at loudounnow.com. On today's Get Out Loudoun calendar, and keeping up the theme from yesterday, not only do we have fun stuff on our calendar, it's also a good place to go if you're wanting to get involved in local government public meetings. Today there are meetings of the county's Western Loudoun Rural Uses and Standards Committee, the Community Criminal Justice Board, and Multicultural Advisory Committee. There's also the Town of Leesburg's Technology Commission and Economic Development Commission, and the Round Hill Town Council. But if you'd rather just go out and have some fun, Richie Kotzen and John 5 are playing Tally Ho Theater tonight at 8 p.m. Check out the rest of the events calendar at getoutloudon.com. And if you like the Morning Minute, tell your new elected officials about the podcast and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, and it'll be waiting for you there every morning. Okay. Have a great day.